Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Andy Bashir visited Eastern Kentucky yesterday to present more than $1 million in renovation money. And Attorney General and gubernatorial candidate Daniel Cameron showed off his new plan for public safety in the Commonwealth.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 5:34 on July 12th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, we've had some pretty days the past couple of days, and it looks like hopefully we'll have another good one today before some of that rain moves in.
Yeah, I think we're going to have another sunny day today, but we are going to see some warmer temperatures this afternoon, and it's going to heat up quickly later today. I'm talking about 10 to 15 degree jumps in just a span of a couple of 3 hours there. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on this morning. We're looking at some fog across parts of the area. Not as bad as it has been, but anything less than 5 miles on this map, which is basically just Harlan and Moorhead at this point. Again, some dense fog. So just take it easy out there this morning. Give yourself plenty of time to get back and forth. I-75 at Corbin, not too much going on here at 5:35. We're looking at some light traffic. Temperatures in the 50s in Manchester, Hazard, Middlesboro, Jacksboro, Jonesville, Clintwood, and Grundy. Everybody else is in the 60s this morning. Hot spots, 66, Prestonsburg, Jackson, and Monticello. Breakfast forecast, well, we're going to top temperatures out there into the upper 80s today, 60s this morning for most. Again, a couple of 50s still spread out there. And look how fast we go between 63 and 66. Just a couple of hours. By lunchtime, we could be in the 80s, and then beyond, almost 90 later this afternoon. Olivia?
Thank you, Brandon. A warning to parents this morning from the Fayette County coroner after the drowning of an 18-month-old from Breathitt County. The Lexington Herald reports Elena Johnson was taken to UK hospital after a drowning incident in Breathitt County. She was pronounced dead at UK. The Fayette County coroner is pleading with parents to keep watchful eyes on their children and make sure they have flotation devices to prevent another tragedy. Johnson's funeral is scheduled for today in Jackson. One Whitley County woman was sentenced to 6 years in state prison on 2 counts of trafficking in meth. 54-year-old Jonah Crasium of Williamsburg pleaded guilty in Whitley Circuit Court last Friday. Police say in August 2021, Crasium sold meth twice, and when she was served with an arrest warrant, more meth was found inside her home. A Virginia man was sentenced to 10 years in jail for burglarizing 2 houses in Lee County, Virginia. Stoney Bailey of Pennington Gap was sentenced Monday. After Bailey's 10-year term of active detention, he will be on indefinite supervised probation. He was charged by the Lee County Sheriff's Office after 2 reports of break-ins in the western part of the county. A wanted fugitive from out of state was taken into custody in Laurel County. A 31-year-old Tylen Davis of Bedford, Indiana, was reportedly seen off of Love Road 2 miles north of London Monday. When deputies began an investigation, officers say Davis got away on foot. Police say he left behind a backpack and tossed suspected meth into tall grass nearby. Following a struggle with officers, he was taken into custody. One man has been found alive, but another is still missing at a southern Kentucky lake. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office had a missing persons case on Gary Bowling, who has been found safe. Search and rescue crews are still looking for a 51-year-old man who disappeared at Laurel River Lake near Corbin. Officials say the man's friends saw his life jacket, but not him.
51, he was out here with his buddies trying to fish, and he happened to jump in and just didn't come back up.
We do not know the circumstances of what happened with the other man who had been reported missing this week, just that he is now safe. Governor Bashir was in eastern Kentucky yesterday afternoon, making stops in Breathitt and Wolfe counties. In Jackson, he presented more than $1.3 million that will go towards building renovations, playground updates, and repairs to an apartment building still needed after the flood nearly 1 year ago. WYMT's Madison Carmouche talked to Governor Bashir and local leaders about the improvements to come.
As we approach 1 year since the July flood, the governor says he is still trying to help the communities hit the hardest. Officials say the funding presented Tuesday will improve the quality of life for many.
Well, you know, we've lived through several disasters lately, and it is sad and depressing, and people need the opportunity to get out and enjoy the beautiful surroundings and have safe places for the kids to play. And so the playground at Breathitt Park, as I said, it's going to be a good opportunity for kids to get out and exercise and enjoy some fun activities.
Jackson Mayor Laura Thomas and Breathitt County Judge Executive Jeff Noble say they appreciate the governor for not forgetting our region.
I'm just thankful he comes to Breathitt County and Eastern Kentucky as much as he does, because he's interested in making sure that we get jobs. He's already working on jobs, so this is just a win-win for us today.
The governor says he not only wants to make Eastern Kentucky a better place to live, but a place comparable to the rest of the United States.
And that's what we were doing today, from housing and repairing housing damaged by the flood, to better parks, to better jobs, where we started the day with 70 more jobs in Hazel Green, in Morgan and Wolfe counties. Today we are showing our commitment that the people of Eastern Kentucky deserve the very best.
In Breathitt County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
As the governor mentioned, he also made a stop yesterday at Lion Apparel in Wolfe County. The facility is responsible for manufacturing the fabric used in first responder protective gear across the nation, and this location has experienced growth during the last year.
But I tell you that demand is up. They've hired, I think, 70 additional people just here at this one facility in Eastern Kentucky in the last year, and that's really exciting. That means 70 more families know where the next paycheck is coming, can put food on the table.
Lion Apparel's Wolfe County operation started up in the early 2000s. It is one of several facilities in Eastern Kentucky. Attorney General Daniel Cameron highlighted his public safety plan for the state at a stop in Lexington. WKYT's Samantha Valentino is breaking down his plan and Governor Andy Bashir's reaction to it.
In 12 steps, Attorney General Daniel Cameron says he can address what he sees as the top responsibility of the government.
Support our law enforcement officers and reduce crime.
In the plan, he calls an alternative vision and a new direction. Cameron calls for the passage of a statewide wiretapping law, mandatory DNA collection for arrests on the, quote, most heinous crimes, and giving the death penalty to those who kill police officers.
The men and women of law enforcement run into danger to protect and serve, and the government must do its part to protect them.
Cameron says he will ask the General Assembly to follow the example of states like Texas, who have allowed for murder charges to be filed against drug dealers who push deadly substances such as fentanyl.
As we all know, Kentucky is in the midst of a drug overdose crisis, and anyone who peddles deadly poison on our streets deserves harsh consequences.
He also plans to work with the General Assembly to develop a $5,000 recruitment and retention bonus for law enforcement.
And unlike the governor, I'm not offering talking points and empty promises. I'm offering Kentuckians specific, hard-hitting solutions.
We asked Governor Bashir for his thoughts on Cameron's plan.
As governor, I've not just talked about supporting law enforcement. I've gotten our Kentucky State Police the largest raise they've ever gotten. Daniel Cameron wasn't there, didn't push for it.
Bashir also said in his time as AG, he sued more opioid manufacturers than any other AG in the nation. In Lexington, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
Cameron says his campaign has consulted with House and Senate leadership on the issues outlined in his plan, adding that he is optimistic the plan will make it through the legislature. Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a new Green Lantern will star in the DC universe.
And while today continues our dry stretch of weather, this is the end of the road, at least for now. I'll track our next rain chances in about 3 minutes.